And hello from Lights and Gear. I have a flashlight to talk about today that I got very recently. I was asked to give a try to this new LE light. LE has had a few lights out to this date, and they are for sale on Amazon. I have not owned any of them. Most of them I would classify as generic flashlights, and I tend to try to stay away from them because most of the time they're usually the same as each other. There are very few differences between them. But this one I agreed to try out because it seemed a little different, and it does seem like the company is trying to branch out and do something a little more traditional as far as what brand name flashlights do. So that's why I agreed to take a look at this. It is an 18650 light, and it has a cool white LED. I believe the LED is an XML2 T6. On the Amazon listing for this, it just says XML T6, but I think it's an XML2 T6 from what I can tell by looking at it close up. Anyway, has a little bit of information here on the side of the box. It's a good size box because it's a pretty long flashlight, and so anyway, let's just open her up here. Comes in a bubble wrap, and there's also oh, okay, I got everything out here. Comes wrapped in bubble wrap. Lighting Forever LE. So you know, they say the usual stuff about the light on Amazon, that it's this and that, and it has all kinds of features. Basically, well, first of all, it is pretty long, and much longer than most of the standard generic lights these days. This is about 7. Well, it depends whether the head is. It is a zoom flashlight, so it has a focusing on it. It's about 7¼ inches. But then if you pull the head out here, there's your zoom lens. So if you pull that out, you're adding about another ½ inch. So it's pretty long. It does not come. It comes with the wrist strap here, the lanyard, but doesn't come with a holster or a pocket clip, as you can see, or anything like that. But I don't think you'd really want a pocket clip. A holster would be pretty long. It's just got length to it. But it is rechargeable, and the USB portion is right here under the cap. So that's it right there. And the way that works is if you plug a cable in, they do, by the way, give you a USB cable. It's right here. So that came out of the box. So this is the one they give you, which looks like it's a pretty good length. It's a micro, of course, just like this is, but this is easier to plug in for the time being. I was just going to show you that when you plug it in, that you instantly get a little red light right over here to show that it's charging. There it is. That little red light indicates the charge, and although I haven't actually run it completely through its paces, I'm going to assume that that red light turns green when the charge is complete. I can make a note of that down below and I find out that it does, or if somebody else knows that it does, but I think that's probably what happens. It would be pretty reasonable to assume that that happens. Now, they also give you a battery, and there's your little nub there in the tail cap. They give you a battery, and the way you change the battery is to open it up from the middle here. It is kind of a, everything seems to sort of come undone at once. This is the battery they give you, an 18650, and it does say that it's 2400 mAh, and I actually ran this through a couple of tests, and I pretty much did get 2400. In fact, in one of the tests I got more than 2400. So it does not appear to be a terribly cheap battery. It does not appear to have a protection circuit because it was able to go way below around 2.80 volts before it died. So I don't think it has a protection circuit, and the flashlight does not have any voltage regulation, so the light allowed it to get that low. So anyway, but I don't think it's a bad battery. Oh, I think I just put it in the wrong way. There we go. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to put a better battery in, so never mind about that one. I'm going to take an Olight battery here, so we'll use that for the time being. So the way the modes are, oh, by the way, there is an instruction manual, so we better have a look at that. Here's the manual, which comes in many different languages, and I'll just look at this briefly. This will give you some bits of information. It doesn't even say what the LED is in here, just that it's 10 watts. It gives you the color temperature, and also mentions that it has well, it says super bright, high, bright, medium, low, and it has a flash and SOS, of course. It says water resistant to IP65, but cannot be submerged, so it certainly isn't waterproof to the extent that you can take it underwater. It does mention the battery life here. But yeah, here are your modes right here, and this is how you change the light, is through this little ring system. So this is like an ultra low, this is low, medium, and high. And there's strobe, or rather there's SOS and strobe. So the way you change it is to move them along like that. And the button, of course, just turns it on, turns it off. There's no momentary or tactical feature to that. It just turns it on and turns it off. And then you switch the modes this way. And when you do, it actually starts activating other modes in between the clicks. See how it sort of varies there. And there isn't a lot of variance between the modes either. Let me go back to low, or the very low. We'll turn this light off here. And point the camera over in this direction. Okay, before I shine the beam into the next room, I just wanted to do a quick comparison here. Now, this flashlight, as I say, doesn't have a lot of zoom to it, and most other flashlights that are zoomable have a lot more zoom. This is it completely focused in, and there it is completely focused out. Whereas if you take another type of flashlight that's of the zoom variety, like this one, which is called the Oxy LED, Oxy LED 50, this one has more of a typical zoom, and it has a zoom that goes all the way down like that, like most of them do, because they're showing the image of the LED, and then they come way out to a big spot like that. So that's how most of them do work. But this one is a little bit different, this LE. But let me put it up on the highest mode, because it's supposed to be, or at least according to Amazon, it's supposed to be 1040 lumens, but I'm not sure if it is. If it uses an XM-L2 T6 LED, I don't believe it can be. But I just wanted to do the comparison here with the Oxy, because I know the Oxy is about 800 lumens. And side by side, they both look pretty much identical. This is the Oxy here on the right. It just has a little bit of a warmer tint. And this is the LE right here. So to me, they both look about the same brightness, reasonably speaking. So anyway, this one's about 800, and this is supposedly 1040. So that's all I wanted to mention there. But also to show that this is the standard type of zoom that most flashlights have. And a lot of people don't like the square, and for obvious reasons, I don't like it either. But anyway, back to the LE. Now we're going to point over to the next room here. And just to show it, now we are in the spotlight mode right now, and we're also in the highest mode. So this is high, and when I was doing that comparison a moment ago, both flashlights were on the highest mode. So this is high, and then as I move it down to medium, it does an SOS flash, and there's medium. And then if I move it down, down to low, and of course it does the SOS flash in between all the modes, which is ridiculous. Here's low mode, and now here is the very low mode. Now there is a bit of a there is difference there between the very lowest and the low mode. There's a bit of a difference, but I don't really think there's all that much difference, say, between medium and high. There really isn't that much difference. That's medium and that's high, so there really isn't that much of a lumen spread between the two modes. But I think you can see how I'm changing the modes. I'm just turning the dial, of course, and then you have SOS down here, and then you have, or I'm sorry, that was strobe, of course, right there, and then you have SOS right here. And then if you just keep turning it around, you get back to high. I mean, I have to hand them a bit of ingenuity regarding this dial. It's not too bad. I mean, it does work reasonably well. It does have a discernible click. And of course, if you're in the dark, you can't see it, but all you have to do is turn the ring and you can figure out what mode you're in. And of course, the zoom has limited motion there, and it's starting to get hot too while it's on the highest mode, which is to be expected. But anyway, this top portion here, this top portion comes all the way off like it does on all these lights. This top portion comes off, and I'm not about to do it now because I had trouble with it. There's an O-ring under here. Of course, you can take the lens right out. You know, all that stuff that you can do on most of these flashlights. So anyway, I want to take this outside and show you what it does in the dark. So follow me out there and we'll point it around for a little bit. Okay everyone, I'm outside with the LE flashlight. Here it is. And we're going to shine it around here and show you the beam as you would see it in a natural outdoor setting. Okay, so I'm going to put the light on. Let me see. I'm going to put the light on the lowest beam right now. I just have to set it there, so hold on for 1 second. I have to be able to see the settings. Okay, I'm on the lowest setting right now, and our target here is about 60 feet. Right now, it is in zoom mode. It's in the closest zoom it can be in. If I pull it back into wide mode, you're really not going to see much of anything. And again, this is on the lowest setting. So if I move it up to the next setting, here it is on the next setting. The first setting was like an ultra low. This is now the low setting. So I'll pull it back a bit. There's the wide zoom, and there's the tight zoom. And again, this is on low. I'll move it up the next setting to medium. There's medium, and here we are in the tight, and here we are in the wide. And this is medium, so the next setting is going to be the highest setting. We're in high mode right now, and there it is on the tight, and here it is on the wide. Let's move the camera about a little bit here. So again, this is on the wide shot right now. If I moved it to something really close, like this, obviously it's going to be very bright. If I pull it back and zoom, or pull it forward and zoom, so here it is on the zoom setting, and this is in high mode. There's a fence, there's a tree over here that's further away, but you really can't see it that well. I can see it myself, but the camera isn't lighting up on it too well. And it's not terribly bright on this tree over here. Really isn't all that bright. And the tree's not that far away, but it's not terribly bright. But again, if I shine it in the back of the house over here, you can see it better. Again, there's the wide mode, and there's the zoom mode. And if I back up or turn around and go up to other trees in the back, this is a lot closer. And that's a little bit further away over there. But this is not as good as another type of flashlight might be able to illuminate. This is not as strong an illumination as another light might be able to do. So that's basically your demonstration right there. And again, as we already spoke about before, there's not much difference between the modes, because this is high and this is medium. There's medium and there's high, so there's really not much difference. And then once again, here's the low setting, and that's fully zoomed in. That's zoomed out, that's zoomed in. Okay, well, hope you enjoyed the outdoor portion. We're back inside for a couple of closing comments. That does conclude the demonstration of the LE light. It was sent to me by the LE folks at Amazon. And if you'd like to, if you think this is the right kind of light for you, or if you'd like to buy it for someone as a gift, by all means, you can check them out at the link that is below in this description. You can go there to the Amazon page and see their sales page on it, and read other people's reviews and so forth. However, that's it. So if you want to buy one, do check out that link. It does talk here a little bit about what a couple of things I didn't mention. It does mention that the battery life is good for about 10 hours on the lowest setting, which is pretty poor. Most flashlights do give you several days on the lowest setting of their lights, because a lot of them have a moonlight mode, although even the lowest low is pretty low on this one, but still 10 hours I don't think is all that great. And it says that the highest light setting on high is good for about 2 hours. Well, that's pretty standard for most. It doesn't say anything about being shock resistant, and again, you can't submerge it underwater. So anyway, that's your LE flashlight. Make a note if you do like the video, or ask a question or two, and check out the link if you want to pick one up. And you can also check out my website at lightsandgear.com for more flashlights, batteries, chargers, and a whole bunch of stuff like that. So anyway, hope you've enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time for more products. Have a good one.